First time watching Better Call Saul Season 5, Episode 5 as well. This one's called Dedicado a Max. Oh, dedicated to Max. Dedicado a Max. So let's do it. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Affan, and welcome to my channel. In the previous episode, we close off on Mikey being in Mexico. How do I know it's Mexico? Because of this thing called obviously. No, it's yellow. They got the yellow tint. And yellow tint equals Mexico, cause obviously. Now I'm thinking maybe that's that Gus's doctor that he's going to because he got stabbed by those people. Now how does Gus know about this? Well, Gus is kind of a creep. We've learned that he likes beeping at people. So maybe he was watching Mike. Kimmy and Saul are planning something with the hacker thing and call center and all that. Jimmy has become, or Saul rather, has become hacker's attorney. So what exactly are they cooking up? We're going to find out very soon what that is. I just wonder if they're trying to help him or are they trying to play him? Because you never know how these things go with these two, you know. We got to see Hank and Gomi, and need I say more? I mean, we got to see Hank and Gomi. Yeah, I know. And Hank got it right away. He was like, it's all good, man. Ha ha ha. I'm like, you bold prick. I love you. Marry me. Pause, who said that? And then there's the whole Gus versus Lalo thing going on. So how exactly is it all going to play out? I mean, this one's called Dedicated to Max. Max, we know, is the friend of Gus, who was obviously killed by the cartel. We saw that, and that wasn't. So yeah, let's just get into it without any further ado. Here we go. Hey, there's Mikey. Doesn't look too good. Yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling it was because of Werner. He feels guilty, and he felt like maybe he should be punished. That's why we went to those guys. But yeah, it was weird.
Where am I?
No hablo inglés. Por favor, siéntese.
Por favor, señor. Buddy, look around. Don't you see this yellow tint? Come on, man. We're in Mexico.
Who brought me here? Did Fring do this?
I think so.
Gustavo Fring.
Siéntese. Le sirvo un vaso de agua.
You know, I do want to go to Mexico. And when I go there, if it wasn't yellow, you have no idea how disappointing I'd be if not everything there wasn't yellow. Like, is it even Mexico if it's not yellow? Like, is it even real? It's probably fake. That's a cross. 4 kilometers. Is it gonna even work? Even if it did have charge? Don't you need like international roaming or whatever? But it's still part of North America. I know that they have like some deals or whatever with other services abroad in North America, so you can use them. I know it's true for Canada. I'm not sure about Mexico. It is the doctor. Let's go! It was Gustavo.
Look what you've done to all my fine work.
What's he want with me?
Just wants a lap dance, bro.
He's asked me to keep you alive.
You know, I was thinking this earlier as well. Did he want to? Because he looked annoyed that he got saved. So did he want to die there? You know? Because I mentioned this previously. The one person that we know undoubtedly,
Okay, listen up.
unconditionally that he loves is Kaylee. And he's unable to see her now. To babysit her. Can't feel good.
Sir, since you represent Mr. Acker, can you make sure he cooperates with the eviction?
Can you make out the address on that?
1130 Arroyo Vista. Is there a problem?
Arroyo.
There were house numbers on that mailbox, plain as day. 1130.
I don't see any. Do you, deputy?
This here's 1240, Roy.
My client says it's 1240.
I got a plat.
30 years, I think he knows his own address.
Sir, you got something with an address on it?
Okay, so he's helping him then? How is this helpful for Miss Verde or for Kim? I guess it makes her feel better. Thank you. Speaking of killing yourself, that's killing your career pretty much.
Officer, before you go forcing an elderly veteran from his home and take everything he's got, demolish a half-century of hard work, wouldn't you like to know you got the right place?
Come on, all we're talking about are some missing house numbers.
I have to make a call.
Even though his face is blurred, I can see him smiling.
Now the guy gets a lawyer.
It was a gimmick, and not a particularly effective one.
It's costing us a day. I call that plenty effective. But we're past that. Tomorrow they're finally tearing the place down, right?
And that's the plan.
Unfortunately, there is another complication. The lawyer Acker hired.
You're Jimmy? Okay, so what now?
She can't go up against him or something?
In fairness to you, I'll withdraw from everything having to do with the Tucumcari projects. Of course, this is just Tucumcari we're talking about. I'll continue to handle everything else as usual.
Oh, she just doesn't want anything to do with this.
I smell a rat. Acker
Yeah.
hired Jimmy, that's no coincidence.
Yeah.
And I heard about the talking to you gave that guy. Sounds like you tore him a new one.
I wouldn't say that I...
Here's what I think. This fella saw you for the killer you are, and he went and hired Jimmy specifically to take you away from us.
How would he know they're together?
I have to say, I think that's very unlikely.
Trust me on this, Kim. I know a scam when I see one.
Ooh, okay. He's good.
Associate's more than capable, but I am not going to let this guy deprive me of the best in the business.
Uh-oh.
This going to be tough on you at home?
It's not the personal side that concerns me. I just wouldn't want there to be any question of conflict of interest.
No, you should have...
I'm not worried about that.
He trusts you too much, Kevin. He's a good guy. Well, seems like a good guy. He's good to Kevin and Paige.
We got to get this thing moving now. We got a lot of competitors out there, and none of them waiting on some crabby old son of a bitch to get their
Got it?
She's still in. Okay, so that's what they were trying to do. She was trying to get herself out of this situation. Because I was thinking, are they going to do like an actual trial or something? Because
MRI machine I saw back there. And Frank paid for all this. And all those nice...
maybe Kevin doesn't know about Saul and Giselle. I don't know why. I thought that would be kind of obvious that this is a setup. This is a scam. I mean, it is obvious to him, but that she did it. Which is why I said she's killing her career here.
And if I want to get back to where I belong...
I guess Kevin trusts her way too much.
5 kilometers from here, there's a gate that leads to the main road. There are men at that gate.
Those men have guns, I'm guessing.
Perhaps you would not survive the journey.
You don't know me, bro. I'm an alien.
Enjoy some of Senor Cotazar's...
Well, I suppose he is an alien at this moment because he's in Mexico, right? And he's an American.
Frank carts me all the way down here.
Why? That I do not know. You would have to ask him.
So you're just his on-call quack.
I am the quack. Saved your life. In a week or so, perhaps you will be able to travel. I can get a message to your family.
They're fine.
Didn't like that mention of family. Hey, it's a burro.
Buenos tardes.
Well, at least reply, you dick. This looks so similar to the village that I'm from. Spent like 3, maybe 4 years, early years, like when I was born there. It's kind of out of place, isn't it? It looks way too nice to be. There's some... Of course, okay. There it is. Water turning red. Guess Saul's British Jesus turning water into tea. I see what they did there, though. Showing us the max thing, then the water turning into, red. I see you.
Just thinking about you. How you doing?
Fine.
Glad to hear it.
What's up?
Best buddies.
Oh, the job. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, hey, I've been thinking of nothing else, really.
I'm ready to discuss the details when you are.
Sounds good.
And Jimmy,
I'm still on the case.
No shit, that's great. What happened?
The more I wanted to go, the more he wanted me to stay.
But he was pissed, right?
A little bit.
Right, so where were you? Picture, set the scene. Come on.
Over here like this, and he says...
Wait, he sits like that? A side sitter.
I guess so.
Almost always he's sitting like that.
He was a side sitter.
The fuck's a side sitter, man?
Gold. Now go on.
I mean, I know what it is. He just told me, but like, what is it? That's not a thing.
Do he talk like this?
A little bit. A little bit.
It's more like lawyer comes in, crazy comes out. I need that call center real bad.
Of course, Kevin.
Wait, are you being me? Yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna let him deprive me sooner than yesterday. Got it? Blah, 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 blah. What?
Kevin?
Yes, Kim?
I'm crying.
Would you care to take a shower with me?
Well, shoot. I believe I would.
That was good. A bit exaggerated, but you know, pretty good. Not as exaggerated as Jimmy, of course. Lovely.
Gracias.
Hello.
You know who this is?
How are you feeling? Better, I trust.
You don't do anything without a reason. Why am I here?
Now is not a good time.
Oh, I thought he was gonna break the phone, just like well Jimmy has been doing, and Gus did in the last episode.
Come on. You know this guy planted that stuff here.
Whoa!
This is the same thing with the house numbers all over again.
No, that was an honest mistake. This is the law.
Says who?
Says the New Mexico Cultural Properties Act.
No. You're not going along with this. Seriously?
I have to make a call.
Better call Saul. Oh, take 10. So they're just dragging it, making them cost a lot of money so they can move to the other location that Kim suggested.
He's claiming there's a flaw in the original land grant from 1846.
That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. That's not what we talked about. I mean, what? Who said that? Pause.
Tractor is an escaped felon.
You can't be serious. And I'm gonna give this one to you.
Validate the grant based on...
What is he doing? The hell? Grinding the batteries? And snort that? Give it to Sticky.
Radiation's borderline. We gotta get soil samples.
I gotta make a call.
I have to ask. I'm gonna have to,
Make a call.
you know.
Yeah, better call than sorry. What?
I've always enjoyed your radio program, and I never thought I'd see a miracle with my very own eyes. That's right, Tucumcari, right off 54. There's plenty of park.
Wait, what? Oh. Oh, wow. Wow. Woo! Triplets? It turned it into like a religious place. It's supposed to be like Jesus, right?
God damn it.
Chuck. Add a Chuck to it. Come on.
Apparently the image on the side of the house has started to fade. Tomorrow we're bringing in additional security and blocking off parking.
The concern was for the construction crew.
It turns out the radiation level was completely safe. We should be clear to resume construction on Thursday.
Assuming nothing else comes up.
Better page.
They know this is costing Mesa Verde. Time is on their side.
You got that right.
Rich, do you have anything to add?
What if there were a way to turn this around on them? What if you don't build the call center? Or not at that location, at least. Suddenly, you're holding all the cards. There's nothing to delay. The other side's the one spending money with no hope of recovering their expenses.
Wait, so what?
I understand there's a viable alternative site. You make the switch.
Yeah, she suggested it.
Lot 2375 is available, and our permits still apply. We'd still hit our target for getting the call center up and running. We took the liberty of running the numbers for you.
Financial hit would be negligible.
He's a side sitter. That's not a thing. Shut up.
Kevin, we're not
I'm
saying...
not gonna roll over and let some low-life shyster bully me off my land. No offense, Kim. He's got one lawyer. I got a room full of the best there is. You're gonna figure out a way to get them off my property. That call center's not moving one goddamn inch.
You gave Acker more than he deserved. Putting me on this, that was bad. If anyone found out...
Yeah, that's true. That's what I was thinking too.
This time next week, Acker will be living somewhere else. Is that really such a big deal? Mesa Verde, it's your bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
You can only push him so far.
Yeah.
The rational thing to do here is close the deal, get the guy a few bucks.
Jimmy?
Wow. The other angle.
There's no reason on God's green earth to take this any further. It's not.
Even Saul is saying, like, bro, come on.
Or?
There's another side to this, which I think she's ignoring completely. This is morally...
Gets nasty, gets personal, gets dangerous.
Like, she feels guilty for the old man, but she doesn't feel guilty for doing this to the people that pay her, you know? She's supposed to do her best for them, the people that hired her. She has an obligation, morally and legally. So, like, she doesn't feel bad about that. Wow. Okay, this just popped into my head. So she's purposefully gonna go after her own company, potentially get herself fired. Most probably they're gonna get fired. You know how in the last episode I said she's on the Jimmy path to becoming Saul? She's on the Kim path to becoming Giselle. I'm telling you.
Yes, it is.
Great. Listen.
Because he did the same thing with Davis and Maine, didn't he? Got fired on purpose. Started his own thing. He's on our way to becoming Giselle. Better call Giselle.
Oppo Research. This is a lawyer hiring a PI. What do you say?
So you're back to being a lawyer? No.
What's a disaster? Oh, the water coming in. Okay. I'm like, is Mike gonna settle here? Marry that woman, have kids, grow his own new family, change his name to Gene?
Good. Muy bueno. Thank you.
It's a peaceful life.
Tómelo con calma. No tiene por qué hacer eso. No sea terco.
It's okay. I'm fine. Thank you.
Same place as Huel.
So it's like some kind of underground Craigslist.
It's just a guy who knows people.
Guy who knows a guy who knows a guy?
Here goes. It'll be fine.
It's Trevor! Is it? Yes, it is.
I thought I was going to a law.
It's definitely Trevor.
This is a law office.
This guy's not discreet, though. Well, I'm thinking of Trevor, so.
Giselle. This
Giselle?
is Mr. X.
It's my work.
Professor X?
You know those things are full of parasites.
Yeah, duly noted. The conference room is in back.
Snake eyes, bupkis, nada. Guys squeaky clean.
Girlfriends, offshore accounts.
No
Wow.
bank accounts, no extra phones, no lunch. I did a self-guided tour of his domicile.
You're saying you broke into his house?
Giselle, this is probably one of those tricks of the trade things. Probably just focus on the what and skip over the how.
I'd like to know.
The alarm drives the housekeeper crazy, so I show up in coveralls, toolbox, alarm company ID, and she is more than happy to let me have the run of the place. Does that meet with your approval?
Right, so
That's the home office. I spent an extra 4 minutes. Oh, you knocked
Okay.
yourself out.
Okay, he did his work.
Yeah, nail salon lawyer. Now we roll up to the subject in an unmarked van.
Kidnap him?
Put him in a bag, and we take him out to the desert.
Yeah, we're done here.
We're not there. The bank is giving you everything you're after. All right?
Slaughter, back to the paintball field, okay? The grown-ups need to talk. Let's go.
All right, that's fine. I am just providing options for you.
Exit through the gift shop.
All right.
Yeah, don't touch anything, please.
I told you, it's Trevor. It's kind of crazy. Not kind of. It's definitely crazy. She found something. I'm looking at a picture of a dude fucking a horse.
That clown, my usual guy, is very reliable.
I don't know what more you want from him. Like, he did everything you wanted.
How's everything?
Oh, good. Kind of crunched. Still dealing with the Tucum Carry situation.
Mm-hmm. And the pro bono work? I'll just step in and take point just on a temporary basis. And, of course, this goes without saying, this won't affect any of your compensation. And that includes your bonus.
You know, Mesa Verde is fully informed of any potential conflicts. Kevin signed off himself.
No, I think.
Still, I think you're going to need to
Okay.
take a break.
Yeah. I have that written down. I thought that Rich might pick up on this.
I had to twist your arm to get you down to Tucumcari for the eviction. Then you put the full court press on Kevin to change sites. That doesn't work. And abracadabra, your boyfriend's opposing counsel.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry to say, I'm just not buying it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought so. I was like, someone has to pick up on this. Like, it's too obvious to not be picked up on.
Let's talk in my office.
You are accusing me of something. Go ahead and say it. Are you talking about malfeasance? Working against my client's interest? What?
Please.
Rich, tell me to get here. You know that.
Yes, I do know.
So tell me, please tell me why I would risk everything for some squatter.
You should tell him that.
Are you trying to...
The firm, I'm trying to protect you.
I don't need your protection. I need to represent my client.
If that's how you want it.
Viola. I'm telling you, this is literally the Jimmy path to becoming Saul. That's her path to becoming Giselle. Let's Gus.
So I'm here to see what a big heart you have. Is that the idea?
Well, another organ.
People, they bow low.
As far as the people here are concerned, I am the doctor's friend, nothing more.
They have no idea you finance the whole place.
I prefer it that way.
The anonymous benefactor. Well, that must make you feel pretty good. And is that supposed to balance the scales? Make up for everything else you do?
It makes up for nothing. I am what I am.
Wow.
A memorial.
To what?
Max. My pollo hermano.
I already told you what you can do with your money.
That you are at a crossroads. You can continue as you are, drinking, estranged from your family.
He's been watching them all. I told you he's a peeper.
You have another choice.
Work for you as a button man.
I am in a war. I need a soldier.
So I'm gonna work for one drug dealer killing other drug dealers. That's your idea of a choice.
You know better. You have met them.
Oh, I've met you too.
Meaning the Salamanca. You are so very different from them?
Mm.
Yes. I am different.
Well, you are different. But not in the way you think.
Why me?
Because I believe that you understand.
Understand what?
Spanish. Wow. Okay. So he knows about his revenge then? Mike's? The whole thing with his son and the coppers? Potentially. He is a creepy guy, Gus. So, yeah. Okay. It's quite an episode. It's a lot of setup in this one. And not just this one, the previous episodes as well. There's a lot of setup in general. And not just from Gus or like Kim, but also there's Lalo doing something, right? There's Nacho in that whole situation as well. Hanks come into the picture and Gomi as well. So yeah, they're really setting something up for the finale, aren't they? It's gonna be a banger. Anyways, before we talk further though, if you want to see the full-length reaction, and also if you would like to see the next episode right now, and perhaps the one after that, and the one after that, and so on and so forth, they go up pretty quickly, these episodes, on Patreon, and that's where they go up first, and then they come over on YouTube. Link in my description to my Patreon. Check it out. Thank you so much, every single one of you, for supporting me all this time. Now then. So, what is Kim doing? I feel like she is on the same path that Jimmy was on. So he would do little small scams here and there, and then he would get back to his regular thing, you know. And then he would do it again, and then he would get back to his regular thing. And then it got to a point where, you know, things got a bit serious, a bit heated between him and his brother, Chuck. And you know, he was doing well before that as well, and he quit his job because he just didn't like that job. He started doing things deliberately to get fired, and then after that, the thing with Chuck happens, and then there's a trial with Chuck, and a lot happens in that, and Jimmy just breaks, and that's the end of Jimmy, and then you see Saul. Saul's here, and he finally lets go of regret, and he's just Saul. I see that for Kimmy now. That's how she's been from the very beginning. But her arc is very slow, way slower than Jimmy. And I believe now she's at that point where she's now doing things deliberately to hurt the very company that she works for and potentially get fired from it. Making a scene like that in front of everybody when you know Rich is right, what does that achieve? Nothing really, other than the fact that I suppose it puts into Rich's mind that suggesting something like that is not okay, which is fine. That's probably something I would do too. But we also know her, and we know that she is wasting the company that she's working for, their money and their time. And that is not okay morally, and that is not okay legally. And she's obligated to do her best, get this back on track. And she's putting hurdles in this company that she works for on her own, simply because she feels bad for the old man. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with feeling bad for the old man, but if we're going to talk about morality and her feeling guilty in that, well, why didn't she feel guilty for this then? This is also wrong. I would say this is more wrong, because that thing that's going to happen to that old man, you're not responsible for that, right? Kevin is. So it's kind of like, you know, she's kind of being a hypocrite there. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I'm saying, like, I literally see her becoming Giselle with a G, because that's how Saul was too, right? And yeah, I was just thinking, just as I was talking about that, I was just thinking about what's going to be her breaking moment. Like for Jimmy, it was Jimmy versus Chuck, or rather James versus Charles, I suppose would be the official title. Kimberly versus Richard or Kevin, maybe, because Kevin is like, he looks like a tough guy, and he looks like someone who's a good guy and who likes to do things the proper way. I mean, even that dude couldn't find anything bad about him. So he's a great guy. But Rich, I mean, he picked up on the whole thing and he called it perfectly. And second, she's working for Rich, actually, now that I think about it technically. Do you know what I mean? She's with Schreckert and Coakley. So could that be it then? And then they'll do something to Rich and something will happen there. And then that'll be sort of her Chuck moment with, you know, in the trial and everything. Not entirely sure, yeah. But there's plenty happening and it's weird. Like with Jimmy, I knew which way it was heading, so I was just like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's inevitable. He's gonna become that way. Yeah, sure, I hate Chuck for everything that he's done. I still think that if Chuck hadn't done what he'd done, Jimmy might not have become Saul, but obviously I knew the future. So if you know the future, then you know that Chuck has to do this in order for Jimmy to become Saul. So yeah, that whole situation is kind of weird, but then, so what else? Oh, right, Mike. Mike is in Mexico. He's fixing things again, which is just great because Mike loves doing that, right? I mean, it just makes me think how different things would have been if Mike was like a mechanic or a technician or something instead of a policeman. You know what I mean? He would have been actually happy doing his job, and I think things would have worked out really well for him. But hey, the game's the game, innit? So yeah, Gus is giving Mike a choice. Gus needs a soldier. Mike is going to be that soldier. It's very interesting. There are a couple of things that are coming to my mind, and there are potentially spoilers for those who haven't seen Breaking Bad, but like, you know, I keep saying it, like, I understand you don't want to see Breaking Bad, but, you know, this is a reaction for Better Call Saul, a show that came out after Breaking Bad, so yeah, you should kind of expect spoilers. But, you know, I was just thinking about what happens in Breaking Bad with Gus and Mike, and the only reason the thing that happens to Gus happens because Mike isn't there, right? When Mike is there, everything's fine for Gus. So yeah, sure, Gus is this mastermind, but he's really weak, you could say, without Mike. Or not as strong without Mike than with Mike. If you really think about it, do you know what I mean? Mike has been able to outsmart Lalo and pretty much everybody else as well in Breaking Bad as well. And like I said, it was only after Mike leaves the thing that happens to Gus happens, right? So who knows? I mean, again, like, who knows if Charles wasn't there, would Jimmy become Saul? Who knows? But that's what happened, right? Charles was the one to push Jimmy over. He's like the catalyst, right? I mean, obviously, Jimmy is the one who pushed himself over, but I mean, like, Charles was a big part of it. So the same way you could think, like, okay, well, if Mike wasn't there, or if Mike was there, things could have been different. Who knows? So, yeah, like I said, a lot of setup. It's really pissing me off, you know, seeing Kim go down this route, because Kim is such a hard-working person. Not that Jimmy isn't, but she's a very kind person as well. Not that Jimmy wasn't, but if you compare the two, Kim is way kinder, way more hard-working than Jimmy. And also, I don't know her future. So that's why I'm holding on to hope that Kim will not turn into Giselle. Whereas I knew about Jimmy, that's why I just went along with it. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, just do it, man. Yay, we're behind you, even though you're doing bad things. You know, because it was inevitable, like I said already. But with Kim, I don't know what's gonna happen, and I don't want her to turn bad. But I feel like she's literally taking the same path as Jimmy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what your thoughts are up to this point. What do you think is happening? And we'll talk in the comments down below. Thank you so much, every single one of you, for supporting me all this time. Like I said, check out my description. That's where you can find links to pretty much everything that I've done on the channel and my Patreon as well. Thank you so much, every single one of you, for supporting me all this time. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, have a nice